Hi, I'm Shane, Product Development Engineer with Quick Attach. Today I'd like to go over the features and benefits of our Super Seeder. We offer this Super Seeder in two different widths, a 96-inch seeding width and a 72 as shown here. The 72-inch model shown here has a 6-bushel hopper and weighs about 1,400 pounds. I'll start by talking about the construction of the frame. This frame consists of two large square tubes which run the full width of the unit and are capped on each end by 1/4-inch plate steel. The hopper is then bolted to the end plates. Inside the hopper is a blade-style agitator. The agitator is used to help stir the seed and feed it towards the feeding holes. Each seeder comes with both a mounting plate for a skid steer loader and the 3-point mounting system that we see here on the front. You'll notice that it has both the category 1 and 2 pins on it, so you can use it on a wide variety of different size of tractors. On the side here we have adjustable track harrows. These harrows are made to stir up the soil behind your tractor tires to loosen it up a little bit before the seeder runs it over. Also is our front row of Culti-pack wheels. These Culti-pack wheels, you'll notice, have a serrated tooth edge to them. The front row is used to break up lumps, to press the stones down into the soil, and also to give the first pass to firm up the soil itself. Another feature I'd like to point out on the front side is the sight glasses on the front of the hopper. This gives you a decent view of the seed level in the hopper when it starts getting low. The 3-point hitch pins you'll notice here are welded rigidly to the tubular frame, and that's good because the 3-point hitch on the tractor, they typically float, and you need this seeder to float over uneven terrain as shown behind me. So I want to point out a couple features on the right-hand side of the seeder. Here you can see the greasable bearings at each end of the Culti-pack wheel rollers. We have a larger roller system in the front, so it has a larger bearing. And the rear roller is actually mounted to the frame using a trailing arm system, which allows it to float. Now we have the parking pin in right now, so it'll sit on its own without tipping backwards. But when you're in operation, you'll pull this pin and the rear trailing arm will float over the uneven terrain. Another unique feature that is really important on a seeder like this, that it's not easy to see, is the fact that the rear trailing arm it rests on top of the front roller when you raise this seeder off the ground. And the reason for that is because the front roller is what's driving the seed agitator. Now, the roller itself, the Culti-pack wheels have some mass to them, and they'll keep spinning after you pick up the seeder. That will cause seed to fall on the ground anytime you pick the seeder up, unless you have a braking system like this. The braking system will stop the roller from turning as soon as you lift it off the ground. On the back side of the seeder here, you can see a good view of how the skid steer mounting plate is pinned to the main frame. So that allows the skid steer plate to float quite a bit in both directions, and we've got really strong hard stops on both the top and the bottom. So if you do have to apply a little bit of down pressure, it's still easy to do that. So one of the things that's important to do when you use a seeder, especially with a new type of seed, is you have to get a feel for how to set the seeder properly to get the right seed rate. We go over this process in the owner's manual. We also have a decal inside the hood on the right side that shows some different seeding rates, but they're kind of a general guess at what works. If you want a detailed or a more precise measurement of the actual seed rate, the process goes through using this seed tray here. And what you'll do is you'll pick the seeder up and turn over the drive wheels a certain number of times to count, and then you can measure the seed that gets trapped inside the seed tray. So that's going to give you a precise amount of seed, and then the math can be done to figure out how much you're seeding per acre beyond that. Okay, on the left side is the drive system for the seed agitator. It's driven from the front Culti-pack wheel arbor, and the owner's instructions go into detail about how to set this for different rates. You can set it for different speeds, but we have two different sprockets here, a high and a low, and then you can do different adjustments to better match the type of seed you're seeding. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the seed rate and some of the features inside the hopper here. First of all, we have a decal here that shows some example seed rates. You meter using this lever right here. So there's some different numbers on that meter, which basically slides the bottom of the seed hopper left and right to make the openings in the bottom larger or smaller. These are kind of close estimations of how many pounds per acre for certain types of seed. Now there's quite a bit of variability in the size and the moisture and the different shapes, the different seeds, so that's why we recommend that you always calibrate the seed yourself if you want a more precise setting. A couple other features in the hopper I want to talk about are the agitator itself. It's made up of a soft urethane type material, so it has some give to it. It's not really hard on the seed, and it also will bend a little bit rather than break or flex too much. There's lift points here if you want to pick up this seeder and put it on a trailer or something like that. And also there's sections in the hopper here that keep the hopper split into 3 subsections, and that's important if you're seeding on side hills, so the seed doesn't all run to one end of the seeder. This will kind of act as a dam and keep that seed uphill. Okay, so a drop seeder like this design is really a good system for laying down smaller, harder seeds like alfalfa, wheat, rye, turnips, things that you might use for grass or even food plots. But it also does a nice job of planting larger seeds like soybean and corn. You just have to understand that this is a kind of a broadcast type seeder. It's not putting the seed down in rows. So if you want to do weed control, it's going to have to be done with herbicide rather than tillage. As always, check back often as we make more videos just like this. Give us a call and check out our website if you have any questions.